So you've spent the month mastering the forest perspective, and we've been able to see patterns, appreciate ecosystems, and really understand how everything is connected. And now we're going to take you on a journey, a real one. We recently traveled through the Panama Canal, and what we discovered on the other side changed everything. Before we dive into November's work of radical acceptance, we need to show you something extraordinary. We need to show you what happens when a forest doesn't just survive, it explodes with life. The Panama Canal is one of humanity's greatest engineering feats, a passage between two oceans, between worlds. As we move through those massive locks, water lifting us 85 feet above sea level, it felt symbolic. In this October challenge, you've been rising too. As we're going through these locks and seeing all the ups and downs and these engineering feats, it made me realize how we're going through our own feat of transformation and change. I'm hoping that October was an opportunity for you to lift yourself up to a level of greater than what you could have ever imagined, a level of awareness. And what you should have learned, and what we learned, is that wellness is a system as a whole, our own personal individual ecosystem. And you've practiced stepping back and zooming out, and you map the connections in order to maximize on your individual micro steps. And now we're crossing into something new, a transition, an interlude between the work of building a perspective and understanding the deeper work of what acceptance is that is coming. First, the rainforest. When people think of the forest, they think of this right here. This temperate woodland, where in the fall we get changes of color, leaves are going to fall, and we see these drastic changes. A lot of what I talk about in my Cultivating Mental Blooms article series. But the Costa Rican rainforest really shatters all of that image, and we're going to explore it right now. This place holds 5% of the world's biodiversity. 5%. On less than 0.03% of the Earth's surface. You find nearly 500,000 species. The rainforest doesn't have one ecosystem, it has dozens stacked vertically. So let's learn about the lessons of these ecosystem layers. The emergent layer, where the tallest trees reach for direct sunlight, exposed, wind-battered, but reaching heights impossible below. The canopy, thick and interconnected, where 90% of life happened. A world unto itself, cooperative and competitive. The understory, which is where our palms and ferns thrive in limited light, adapted to scarcity, patient and efficient. And finally, the forest floor, where death becomes life, where everything returns to feed what comes next. Here's what the rainforest teaches us. There is no single way to thrive or survive or to find success. Some species need the full sun. Some really need the deep shade. Some thrive in death, and others need abundant life. And we are just the same. And do you know what makes the biosystem and the biodiversity of the rainforest so strong? It's not the dominance, it's not the strength, it's not the smartest. It truly is diversity. The more diverse the system, the more it succeeds. When one species struggles, dozens of others adapt. When conditions change, there are always survivors because not everything needs the same thing. The system thrives because it contains multitude. As we discovered this past week, is that we really need to have community. We need that diversity in order to thrive, in order to survive. Success comes because we are all different, because we grow at different ways and in different lanes, because we are needed to forage in different ways and have different strengths. And that's what we're going to adapt to. And that's where our resiliency really starts to show and shine. And so this is what we're learning in this interlude, that flexibility isn't weakness. Adaptation is not failure. And having multiple ways to thrive isn't a lack of commitment. It's all resilience. The rainforest doesn't earn its right to exist. It doesn't prove its value. It doesn't justify its space. It simply is magnificent, necessary, worthy of protection and awe. So this is the bridge between our October Wellness Challenge of looking at perspective and November's Gratitude Wellness Challenge is radical acceptance. And radical acceptance is being present in the here and now without judgment. We don't require judgment in our lives. It will put us in a negative space and keep us on the negative dynamic. So let's learn how. Because the rainforest taught us a lot of important lessons. It taught us that value doesn't have to be earned. That's a big one, performance trauma. That worth doesn't require productivity. And you don't have to optimize yourself to feel like you have to deserve your own life. The rainforest is valuable by existing. That's it. Simply being there makes it magnificent. And you are the same way. Just showing up every day, doing those micro steps and these micro acceptances that we've been working on through the week, zooming out and choosing a new perspective. That's how you show up for yourself. That's how you give yourself value. That's how you give yourself capacity. That's how you motivate to make the big changes you want in your life. So as we look towards November and as we own the last 5th week of October, make sure that you are also owning that space, that you're showing up every day in micro moments, and that you're realizing, labeling, and letting go of the judgment that comes with our day-to-day. So this week, as we rest in this interlude, we're practicing 3 things. 1, witnessing without judgment. Looking at your life the way you'd look at a rainforest, with curiosity and appreciation, not criticism. Number 2, recognizing diversity as strength, honoring that you need different things in different seasons, and that's not inconsistency, that's wisdom. And number 3, feeling gratitude for existence itself, not for what you accomplish, but for the miracle that you're here, alive, part of this interconnected web. The Panama Canal was a passage, Costa Rica an interlude, a moment to breathe between the analytical work of October and the tender work of November. You've learned to see your life as a system. Now you're learning to love it as an ecosystem. Complex, diverse, and already valuable. Thank you for watching. If this helped, please like, share, and subscribe and get more great information on living a happier, healthier, more purpose-driven life. Rewire your brain, reclaim your power.